Hey, welcome back. More Age of Empires 4 for you here. Glad you could make it. Hope you're having a good day, and hope you're ready for a good game, because I think we've got one for you. This is me playing as the Abbasid dynasty. I'm going to be up against Katana 88, playing as the Holy Roman Empire. We're playing here on Altai. Altai is a map where it's a pretty direct shot to your opponent's base. And there's these two mountain ranges that kind of go along the sides of the map, so you end up with this central channel where a lot of action takes place, but there's these side channels that have lots of valuable resources and sacred points to capture, so you can't ignore the sides of the map. I'm even going to have my scout start to check out what's on this sort of near channel. You can see my base is kind of on the far right and down of the map, so I kind of want to see what's in this channel here. Really, I'm looking for berries because I'm the Abbasid, so I like seeing this, and looks like there's even some deer over here, a relic. I'm already thinking if I wall this off, this will be a really nice area to gather some resources. Another nice part about Altai is there's a deer hunt that spawns right next to your base. So you can gather resources really easily and quickly. It's just so safe to gather up these deer, and they're worth a lot of food. So that's why we see my opponent playing the Holy Roman Empire on this map. It's a very safe map to just kind of keep your base condensed, protected, gather up these deer. My opponent could easily reach the castle age if they focused a bit on getting gold. Me, I'm going to use this deer camp to put down my second town center on it, because I really like a second town center on a deer camp. It's just so nice. That's why I really like Abbasid for Altai and Hill and Dale. That's another map where there's a deer camp that spawns just nearby. Right now we're scouting the map with our scout, gathering up all the stray sheep that are on the map. It's good to grab sheep because they're another food source, and they're a safe food source because we can bring it back to the safety of our main town center here. And I decided right here to, rather than just save my resources for the second town center, I realized I'm going to have a little bit of extra wood. So I decided to go with an archery range, and I've really been enjoying making camel archers right away from an archery range. Maybe just one, maybe two, but they're a really powerful unit. When you get them out on the map early on, there's not much an opponent can do to respond. They can't send spears against them because camel archers actually do bonus damage versus spearmen. They can send archers against camel archers. That's the smart thing to do. You really want normal archers taking on camel archers. But if they haven't spammed out 2 or 3 archers, then they're going to have some trouble. And now I'm scouting my opponent, and let's talk about what we're seeing. 5 villagers on gold. That's a lot. But I'm also seeing 5 houses and a barracks. If my opponent was trying to rush to the castle age, we would definitely see lots of villagers on gold. That makes sense to me. However, if we were going to see some early aggression from my opponent, then that's what these houses and this barracks clues me into. I almost never see excess houses built. It just kind of means they don't want to be population blocked, so they're going to be producing lots of units. And the barracks certainly means they're going to be aggressive. I mean, they can start producing man-at-arms from these barracks. The Holy Roman Empire have access to those early man-at-arms, which are a very strong unit. They're very tanky. There's not really a direct counter for them in the feudal age, so you just kind of have to shoot them down with your archers and camel archers and just hope for the best. But it's kind of a mixed signal here. Lots on gold, but also the structures that are needed to put on a lot of aggression. So I'm not really sure. I'm definitely going to need to scout more, and it's unfortunate that I only have this one scout. I think I'm going to send, yeah, my camel archer out to just get an idea of what's going on out here on the map. I want to see if he's rallying units to the front, if he's still got villagers on gold. And camel archers, I like them because they do a lot of damage and they're mobile. This guy can really snipe down villagers. And I mean, look at how well he does against this scout. Hilariously, the scout actually gets the camel unease. So this camel archer is actually causing cavalry units to deal a little bit less damage. So that's one scout done. So this camel archer's already done some good work. But then suddenly I find a villager, and look at the damage we do. It's so good. That's one villager down, and he's sending more villagers out. And now we're spotting 4 man-at-arms. So I'm thinking my opponent's going to start to get aggressive. But look at how we can just completely outmaneuver these man-at-arms with our camel archer. They're so quick. We had to get 3 villagers, and I'm going to try to get my scout out, but no doing there. I'm seeing an archery range. Yeah, here's the archers. They immediately take care of my camel archer. So that's telling me aggression. This forward outpost, all of these military units, my opponent's likely not going Castle Age. Although if we look at current resources in the upper left here, he could have gone Castle Age. If he had aggressively gathered food, almost has enough gold to make it up to the Castle Age. I'm really not sure if my opponent should continue this aggression or just go Castle Age. I could overreact and just produce tons of units. So really, I should be scouting more, but we'll see if these resources, if food goes up to 1200, gold goes up to 600, then my opponent could just do a Castle Age, and the Holy Roman Empire are really strong in the Castle Age. But it's looking like the resources are dropping. Oh, that was a huge drop. That was probably my opponent's commitment right there to aggression. Because that was probably, I don't know, maybe a half dozen of the man-at-arms. I'm going to continue scouting by sending some horsemen forward, and I might even get some scouts. So I'm seeing a bigger and bigger military ball. I'm seeing a second archery range. Now I'm almost positive that this is going to be a feudal age ram push. And it's probably going to be a push with lots of man-at-arms. This is going to be a push that's meant to just completely annihilate me. But I find more villagers on the back end with these horsemen. So we're going to target fire one of them down. And we've really been picking up some great free villager kills just by sending small groups of highly mobile units. These horsemen are just outrunning his really slow man-at-arms. And that camel archer got 3 villager kills up here. So we're already 4 villager kills ahead. And we've gone with a second town center. So I'm feeling really good. If I can just hold on, we're in a dominant position here. We're gathering up our wood. I'd like to see maybe a few more on food. He sends his archer ball down here. They're probably going to take care of my horsemen. I got to get out. Oh, injured villager right there. Would have loved that. But even more houses. My God. He's got enough houses for maybe 100 or 90 units. I mean, I'm only at 64 units. He's really overproducing these houses. I don't think it's a good idea to overproduce these houses, but we'll see. And this scout that I have here is in an excellent position. We're getting to see just the edge of his army mass. And yeah, I'm just going to send it in really quick. Get a little scout. That's a lot of units. We're just going to keep an eye on it. We're going to keep preparing for the eventual push. Looks like I'm getting houses down, continuing to produce units. Would love to see just archers, camel archers, a few horsemen, of course. And we're also getting upgrades. So we got the +1 damage upgrade. Now we're getting the +1 ranged armor upgrade. And our army is getting up there, but he's definitely got the lead right now. And another barracks. And it looks like the outpost outs my scout. So I need to hopefully be responsive. Okay, good. Looks like I grab him. I get him out. Don't want to lose him. I'd love to maybe tuck him over in this stealth forest. Yeah, just kind of reposition. See if we can't keep an eye on that army. Now we're putting up walls. Looks like we got some walls over here. We're putting an outpost up here. Don't think my opponent would bust through here, although it could be a good spot. There's a lot of important buildings here. But if his army naturally goes to the north, then we'll be in a good position to defend here. Though if I were my opponent, I'd probably bust through here. Why not? Then you can get to work on all these low health buildings. Houses are easy to rip through, archery ranges are good. Knock out my production and I'm gonna really be hurting for a while. Scout is spotting rams going down, but again the outpost outs my scout and I lose him. So now I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure the attack is coming very soon. So I'm going to spam out some more units. I'm also transitioning a little bit to the castle age. I pulled some more villagers onto these deer. I'm also walling off this area of the map so that we can take advantage of these berries. Always good to grab 1 or 2 new resource patches when the ram push is coming, because then you can always pivot to other resources when your villagers are in danger. Like maybe these villagers are in trouble because there's archers all along this back wall here, this tree line. We can reposition them over here. Or maybe we run out of a resource in the middle of the siege. I mean, there's already idle villagers on this deer. If we can just reposition them over here, perfect. And when you're in the middle of a battle, you don't want to even think about where they're going. Just send them somewhere that's already built. Also, another thing to do, the moment you see his army arrive at your base, send a small force out. 3 to 4 horsemen, 3 camel archers, something quick, and send them the long way around. He's going to be so overwhelmed by attack notifications that rarely do they realize that their own villagers are under attack. So I'm going to send these horsemen the long way around and try to get at the backside of his base. I'm going to assume he's going for these berries, or we can get into this tree line, which I'm sure is going to be thinned out by this point. I'm going to try and show you the kills that these horsemen get, but it's going to be simultaneous with this ram push. So he's going to go for the wall. That's buying me more time. I've got units in the queue. They're all getting produced. Cool with this. I want my horsemen to engage on the back, get rid of his archers, but look at how many man-at-arms he has. I just do not have an easy way to deal with 27 man-at-arms. This huge battle is going on. The horsemen on the back end are getting free villager kills. The rams are going to target down my towers. My horsemen are fortunately on the backside targeting archers. That's what I want them fighting. They do bonus damage to these archers. My own archers, they're just duking it out with these man-at-arms. I really need to kite. I probably need to send these units back, draw more of his units into my base, because then I can at least have his defensive structures attacking. So you can see it takes so many archers to take down these man-at-arms. We're still getting kills back here. There's a few dead bodies out in these fields, and look at how many dead villagers are over here. 3, 4, 5. I mean, we're easily gonna get 10 villagers from that raid. My own villagers are dying too, though. That's probably 4 or 5 right there. We're losing even more over here. But I mean, we're burning down the rams. We've got to get rid of the rams because they are just destroying everything. My archers are at least trading with his own archers. He's got armor upgrades and attack upgrades. Wow, he's got a lot of upgrades. That was a lot of villager losses on my half, but I mean, we're still getting villager kills down here. So much so that now my horsemen just don't even know what to attack. They're just moving on to the blacksmith. But I'm getting attacked by man-at-arms up here, but through all of that, we were able to age up, and now we've got crossbowmen. If I can have my crossbowmen target the man-at-arms and my archers target his archers, we should be okay. The problem is we're still losing villagers back here. Very painful. These idle villagers need to get out. That was easily another 5 up here, so I've maybe lost a dozen villagers, but we're still targeting down villagers back here. Wow. So yeah, while we're losing clumps of villagers by like, maybe we'll lose 5 villagers, then another 6, then another 6. He's losing 1, 2, he's losing like a villager every few seconds as well. And remember, we're still on 2 town centers, so we initially had more villagers anyway. And we are in the Castle Age. We are ahead in that regard. And his army mass is now... I mean, this is not a force that's going to deal much damage. I can actually keep an eye on it. These poor villagers would hate to lose more. Okay, good. But this is an army mass that we can deal with. Yeah, he's not even paying attention to this army anymore. So there you have it. Another siege push, another ram push, fought off. Now we're getting our own man-at-arms. These are very tanky units. They're gonna deal with his archers easily. And we just need to keep making villagers. So now, who came out ahead? I didn't lose any important structures. Even the blacksmith stayed alive incredibly. We lost, I believe, a mining camp. We lost some outposts. Our walls got knocked down. And we lost probably 20 villagers? 15 villagers? Of course, on the other side, we had already killed 4 villagers in the early game, and then my horsemen came down and probably killed 10? A dozen? So if you think about it, our total villager kills, he's probably got more than me, but not by much. Not enough to offset the 2 town centers that I have producing. So if we check out income per minute, yeah, we're ahead. We are just ahead. Gold, we're pretty even. Lumber, we're ahead. Food, we're ahead. And we're even getting a little bit of stone. And then I noticed my opponent made it to the Castle Age. That was really confusing to me. Usually, these feudal ram pushes are all-ins. Like, it's all or nothing. That was his attack. He's going to come at me again with another ball of units. But he didn't. He made it to the Castle Age. So I'm going to counterattack. There's no way he could afford to do that and have a strong standing army. I mean, I just wiped his entire army. There's no way he had enough resources to both make it to the Castle Age and get a decent sized army behind all that. So we're going to advance. We've got a few Castle Age units mixed in here. We've got a Lancer, we've got some man-at-arms, we've even got a few crossbowmen in the mix. We're taking down his outposts, and now we're seeing the edge of his army, some man-at-arms, but we're also seeing juicy villagers. We also spot 2 prelates with relics in hand. He's going to try to do the conversion, but we take them out before he can really do anything. Honestly, kind of risky on my half. I should have just backed my units up, let the conversion happen, and then attacked again. He was just trying to buy time, and even if he had bought himself a little bit of time, I don't think it would have saved him. It looked like he was just producing some crossbowmen. We're duking it out. Notice that while this fight's going on, he didn't pull his villagers, so occasionally my archers are taking out villagers during this fight. And there's another prelate. We're going to target him down. Yeah. He's got 3 relics over here. We wipe his army, and now I'm like, okay, the siege can begin. On the back side of this, we're going to start making imams and grabbing whatever relics are left. I mean, there's 3 here, so there's not all that many left on the map. The one we walled off is safe. It looks like we just grabbed this one, and now we're going to grab the sacred site. Looks like I also stone-walled off this section, so it's nice that I have kind of this chunk of the map safe and behind walls. But now we're throwing down all the siege units we need. Siege engineering is free for the Abbasid, so we are just spamming down these rams. But we could also make mangonels, springalds, whatever we need. But I need something that's going to threaten his buildings, because I mostly have ranged units. And we're going to sit on top of his production buildings. Now we spot the landmark. It's the Regnitz Cathedral. He was trying to get these relics back home, but they didn't quite make it. And I'm realizing I think I just need to end this. I'm going to send my archers past his town center. I'm not too scared of it, sniping down some of my units. There's his villagers. That's what we're looking for. If he's going to retreat them, fine. We're just going to go back here, build a ramp. We're going to destroy every single building in his base until he surrenders. I don't think my transition to the Castle Age was all that, I guess at this point in time in the game, I don't think I'm playing all that well. I've got a lot of villagers doing some pretty long distance gathering. I mean, this could definitely be fixed. Looks like I'm transitioning to farms, that's good. Would love to see me get agriculture, would love to see more blacksmith upgrades being picked up. Looks like I decided to build farms over here just because it was convenient being near these berries. But I think I could have done it a little bit better. I mean, this imam is still just hanging out over here. I definitely want to start capturing these sacred sites. Oh, looks like we might have grabbed that relic. Maybe my opponent did? Hard to know. But pretty much we're just wrapping up the game. I wish I had stayed a little bit more focused, but honestly, I think I was just saying to myself, let's just win this. My opponent needs to surrender. Doesn't seem like he's going to. It was an exciting game. I had not seen a Holy Roman Empire ram push, I don't know, ever. The number of man-at-arms was insane. So many of them lived till the end of the siege, and it was terrifying. They just would not die. Maybe I needed more camel archers. Maybe I needed a mix of horsemen to really get into the back lines of his archers, but I'm glad we held. And honestly, the counterattack from my horsemen and the early villager kills ensured that we didn't both end up at the Castle Age, even economically. I just got ahead so far. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the match, and I'll catch you for the next one.